there has been this very promising alternative to After Effects that popped up out of nowhere called Autograph, which allowed the creation of motion graphics and both 2D and 3D compositions. But almost a year ago, it has been bought by Maxon and got taken down with no prior warnings, which made a lot of people lose access to their projects since the licensing server went offline. But now, just a few days ago, Maxon has re-released Autograph and made it free. So let's take a look at that to see what this actually means for us and what we can expect. What I actually mean with Maxon made it free is that features that have previously been locked behind a paywall in Autograph are now available to everyone without any cost. These features include OpenFX support, using all available effects, not having to deal with watermarks, and being able to export in any resolution you want. Especially the OpenFX support has been highlighted in the official marketing by Maxon, as their plugin effects suite Red Giant Universe has an OpenFX release. This essentially means that you can use this suite in Autograph. And I kind of feel like that Maxon acquired Autograph to own a product that basically acts as an interface for their existing plugins. Because apart from some adjustments to the UI, Autograph itself hasn't really changed. The only real new feature is that you can now access Maxon Studio right within Autograph to get a selection of different presets that have been built using the Red Giant products. And of course, you can only access these with a license of Red Giant Complete or Maxon 1, which also grants you access to Cinema 4D, ZBrush, Redshift and the Red Giant software. Well, at least if you're willing to pay the $1,500 per year for that. The Red Giant Complete license, on the other hand, would cost you around $730 per year. But while we're at it, in order to use Autograph, you will have to install the Maxon app for the licensing, which is basically Maxon's launcher and updater for all of their products. And you will also need a Maxon account. So yes, while you can totally use Autograph without having to pay a single dollar, you can only do so while logging in at least every 7 days to refresh your free license, and it is tightly integrated into the existing monetary structure of Maxon, which kinda sends the wrong signal, as everything that has been changed regarding Autograph after a year of its disappearance has to do with its licensing and its integration into other Maxon products. This also includes subtle changes like the instancer being renamed to Cloner to better fit into the language of Cinema 4D. At the same time, that's also pretty interesting, as it feels like they have plans to also create a direct integration with other Maxon products like Cinema 4D or maybe even Redshift, as their FAQ suggests. Though there is a major culprit regarding Autograph. Even though they really haven't changed much about its functionality, they decided to drop the Linux support. And this feels like a very odd decision, as I felt like it might become Autograph's unique selling point. I did saw a comment from the staff on Reddit that they will report the demand for a Linux version by the community to the higher ups, but I remain skeptical. But that actually brings me to another topic, which is the increase of activity in their subreddit. And this is honestly not only very nice to see, but might also indicate that we will also start to see community-made tutorials, tools and presets for Autograph. I'm also excited to see how frequently Autograph will receive updates and what these will include. And maybe they will also create bridges to Autograph from the other products like Cinema 4D, which would ultimately increase the quality of their existing products. And of course, there are people who already had a Maxon 1 subscription who can currently benefit from having a new software to use their Red Giant products with. Though I couldn't find anything about Autograph's prior DaVinci Resolve integration called LiveLink, which is a real bummer, since I felt like it might become a really useful tool to create motion graphics in Resolve. I'm still pretty confused about their decision regarding dropping the Linux version, but being able to see and use Autograph again honestly made me feel somewhat nostalgic. even if it hasn't been that long ago. As the set of available tools and features haven't really changed since my last review, I pretty much kept my opinion about Autograph. It is very promising as it combines both motion graphics and compositing like After Effects, but it is nowhere near the current capabilities of it yet. So let's see how quickly that will change, or if that will even change at all. That was everything from my end. Make sure to like and hype the video and to submarine to my channel. Have a wonderful day. Bye.